there.
First pick of the week.
First off, we got Philly plus 2.5 at New Orleans.
So you guys might be surprised by this. You guys know I don't believe in Philadelphia, and now I'm taking and how bad their defense is. But this, in my opinion, is such a drastic overreaction. The look-ahead line of this, DeMonze, a week ago, this was Philly -3. And now I'm getting 2.5 points. I think Philly has real structural issues that can prevent them from being a championship team, from potentially making the playoffs. I also think getting 2.5 points when they have to be furious about how last week went and New Orleans riding a little too high, that's just an opportunity that I can't pass up. It looked like you wanted to say something, so go ahead.
I was shocked that New Orleans is favored here too, but if they go and play Philly and they win, do think I know you think their defense is bad, but I think it'll be close to starting to take them a little serious. Well, I know they got week 5, the Chiefs, but yeah.
No, I agree. Yes, if they beat Philadelphia this week, then I have to reevaluate a bit. You know what I mean? My skepticism of them, but I don't think they will. By the way, Carr is a favorite, 22, 37, and 2 against the spread, and basically since in late Drew Brees era into now, New Orleans is one of the worst home teams, 4th worst home team against the spread from 2018 to now. Now Hurts is 1-8 against the spread in his last 9 starts, which speaks to how overvalued Philly has been. But I think now we've gone too far in the other direction. Getting 2.5 points in New Orleans, I'll take the Philadelphia Eagles. Next.
Chicago plus 1.5 at Indy.
Yeah, I think Chicago's better than Indy. I think Indy's defense is the exact type of defense you want to be up against for Caleb to get right. They couldn't, everyone knew that the Packers were just going to try to run the football against them. Gus Bradley's defense couldn't stop them from doing that. They lost to Forrest Buckner. I feel like the Bears can just run the ball. I also think the Bears defense can give Anthony Richardson a lot of trouble. I think the Bears win this game outright. The Chicago is 6-2-1 against spread in the last 9 games. That's in my opinion, not super relevant because obviously it's crosses seasons and quarterbacks, but I think they are a little undervalued by Vegas. I just think they're flatly better than Indy by more than a field goal, and I'm getting points, so I love Chicago plus 1.5. Go ahead.
Someone who's betting football for about a year, they're asking if I've got any advice for Caleb to cover the spread.
Just win the game. and also Caleb, the other thing is this, he doesn't have to be great in this game for them to win. He needs to be better. And I thought he was better in week 2 than week 1. Again, incredibly low bar. I understand that. But I think that Caleb is early enough in his career, 2 games in, to still weight your priors of him as a prospect and what he looked like in college far heavier than you weight these 2 games. Now, if you're worried about the Bears' offensive line, that's totally legitimate. If you're worried about Caleb not throwing any downfield to any success, 0 for 11 on targets, more than 15 yards down the field with a couple of picks, that's fair. I just don't think that he has to be great for them to win this game. I think the defense is exceptional. I'll take the Bears plus 1.5. Next.
You got Seattle minus 4.5 versus Miami.
Yeah, this is the longest flight in football. Miami to Seattle. That's relevant to me. It's Skylar Thompson starting a game and a week that, now I understand Miami is on extra rest, but I just think Mike McDonald's defense with Seattle is going to give Skylar Thompson absolute fits. And
jump in and say that when teams end up in these situations where they have a backup quarterback coming in and like they got a funny name or you're just not aware of them, I feel like 9 times out of 10 they come in and they prove you wrong and they end up covering that spread. I feel like this happened with Tyson Bagent at one point. Maybe Easton Stick at some point back in the day. I don't know, but
it happened with Malik Willis. These are all true. What's also true is I've seen Skylar Thompson play. And I know I've said this before, but he's played with these Dolphins, with these weapons, and has not had success. You're now on the road in one of the hardest environments playing in the entire league against a team with a blitz-happy, hungry defense. I think Seattle will score a defensive or special teams touchdown. I know I'm laying 4.5 in a game where they were 2-point dogs before Tua got hurt. So that is a 6.5-point line movement. But I think Geno can carve up this Miami defense, and I think Seattle can do real damage to Skylar Thompson. So I like Seattle minus the 4.5. Next.
You got Dallas +1 versus Baltimore.
Yeah. So I think the producers thought I was picking Baltimore because they put good for these 3 notes, but they're all bad for my bet because it's that Lamar's 5-2 on the road after a loss. Lamar is 20-1 straight up against the NFC. These are all reasons not to pick the Cowboys. I understand all of that. This is purely that I just think this is mispriced. And I understand that it is only a point and that really it's basically a pick 'em. Who do you think's going to win? Fact of the matter is this. The Dallas Cowboys should not be home underdogs to anyone except for the Chiefs or the Niners. That's it. They are a good team that is great at home this past week notwithstanding. They should, and the Ravens have real issues. So I do like Dallas this week. I do think Baltimore falls to 0-3. I do think Dallas is the same way that Rashee Rice carved up the Ravens secondary and Devontae Adams carved up the Ravens secondary. CeeDee Lamb's better than both of those guys. I think he'll be able to carve up the Ravens secondary, and I don't know if Baltimore is going to stay as committed to the run as they should against a Cowboys team that's their biggest weakness. So I know that this is one that you disagree with me on, DeMonte, but Dallas getting points at home is an opportunity I just can't pass up, even though it's just 1 point, 1.5 in some places. I'll take Dallas plus the 1.
Yeah, never pass up an opportunity to lose some money. Next,
okay.
you got Kansas. You got Kansas City minus 3.5 at Atlanta.
Yeah, I think this line should be 6.5. I think that Mahomes in a dome. We already went over the numbers. The Falcons, a bit of an emotional letdown spot, and they're on shorter rest. And as far as the Chiefs putting up big points against this defense, you got to avoid Jesse Bates. I understand that. I'm not worried about their pass rush. The Chiefs have offensive line issues, but I'm not worried about Atlanta's pass rush. Isaiah Pacheco's injury might actually be beneficial for the Chiefs this week, purely because it will force the Chiefs to be in a drop-back passing game with an angry Mahomes. Because Mahomes got furious with how he played this past week. So I think this could be a huge bounce-back spot for Kansas City. I think Kansas City's defense... Hey, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button to get more from the show, and make sure to click the bell to get notified every time new content drops. Check out full episodes of What's Right wherever you get your podcasts, or just click the link in the description below.